happens when they ask for the pigeon?
What pigeon? This was delivered to me by mistake, and being a thoroughly honest person, I'm going to return it to the sender.
Ah, you're so sneaky.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
It was close.
It was meant to be closer.
What do you mean?
Somebody's either trying to scare me or kill me.
MTW 109.
What?
Well, that's the license on that car.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Good girl. Do you still love me a bunch?
More than ever, you big goon.
More than you love your kitty car?
What?
I need an excuse for the police to trace that license number in a hurry. I don't want to go into a story about a blackmailing pigeon.
So?
So, I'll explain to you as we go along. We were just parked, and this black sedan came barreling along and bounced off us and then kept right on going. That's hit and run, isn't it?
Yes, misdemeanor hit and run, but only if the other driver knew that he hit you. You may have to go to court and waste more time and money than you're going to get out of this.
Oh, well, it's not the money. It's the principle of the thing.
All right, I'll check out the license registration. Traffic 7 to headquarters.
Go ahead, Traffic 7.
Request a 1028 on hit and run auto, 60 Ford, license M. Mary T. Tom W. William, 109. Repeat, Mary Tom William, 109.
Stand by, Traffic 7.
I suppose we pick this guy up and he plays dumb. It's your word against his, you know.
Our word in a banged-up car.
Don't you like your work?
Traffic 7.
Go ahead, headquarters.
Your 1028 on 60 Ford is registered to Miss Veronica Mizell, 1015 Green Street, San Francisco, sole owner.
Check, headquarters. 10-4. Do you want us to pick her up? Or do you want to call her and see if you can work this out between you? She's probably insured.
Oh, well, that's not the idea at all. If some fool woman comes down the street...
Really, there's no point in revenge as long as she takes care of the repairs.
Now, you're being very smart.
Well, if you want to know what I think she should be locked up for...
No, honey, you're just upset. It'll be all right, officer. Thank you.
Word, I thought I was pretty good, didn't you?
Yeah, you do a lot better if you learn to quit when you're ahead. Now, drive me to a taxi stand.
Well, why a taxi?
Because this Miss Veronica Mizell tried to kill me once, and the odds are pretty good that she's going to try it again. I don't want to give her 2 targets instead of 1, so you're going home.
Willie?
Amy.
Ooh, I hate you. Out when you walk in, she's an ugly old hag with hangnails to hit you over the head with a meat axe.
You might get your hope.
Oh, Willie, promise me you'll be careful.
Drive, darling, huh?
Yes? Is anybody there?
If you start to scream, somebody's going to call the police, and then we'll have to talk about pigeons and automobiles and things like that. Trying to drown your conscience?
Who are you?
Willie Dante. And you are Veronica Mizell, the lady of the pigeons.
You've got an ugly sense of humor, Mr. Dante.
I get ugly when I have to roll in the gutter to keep from being killed.
How did you find out about me?
My friend got a good look at that license plate you tried to bounce off my skull. I let the police think it was simple hit and run. They gave me your address.
My address? Why? You know where I live. At least your little friends do.
Look, what kind of button are we playing here?
Well, you should know. You've been sending those pigeons to this address for 3 weeks now.
Wait a minute, from the top. You admit that you tried to roll your car over me earlier this evening.
Yes. Yes, I've been sitting outside that delivery office every night for a week, waiting for someone to come along with one of those little pigeon boxes. And when I saw you...
Oh, no. You mean you're being blackmailed?
And I thought you were the...
Do you mind?
Obviously, you don't know who it is either.
No, it's not me. It's being blackmailed. It's a friend of mine.
I'm sorry. I mean about tonight. I still don't understand how anyone found out. I haven't told a soul.
You just quoted my friend. You can't figure out how the blackmailer knows about him either. But we do know that you're both being blackmailed by the same person. It means that there must be something that you and my friend have in common.
That's true. What's his name?
Stuart Stiles. Well, he's probably used a dozen names in his time. Why don't I get him over here?
Oh, there's the phone. Another brandy?
Just to the brim.
Have you ever been to Denver?
No.
Have you ever been to Washington?
No.
Well, how about Europe?
No.
Paris?
No.
Rome?
No.
Copenhagen?
No. Do you know anybody in Phoenix?
Not a soul.
Well, I spent some time on the island.
No.
Have you ever been to Honolulu?
Where?
Honolulu.
No.
You know, you two could both be on a desert island and never meet each other. You always drink side saddle?
Oh, no, I had a tooth pulled a couple of weeks ago. Little nuisance won't heal.
Oh, okay, look, let's start all over again now.
Have you ever been to Walla Walla by any chance?
Wait a minute. Teeth. Your tooth, his tooth. You've both been to the dentist recently. What's your dentist's name?
I went to an oral surgeon, Dr. Wyckoff, on Post Street.
Well, that's the one I went to.
Excuse the expression, but you both shot your mouths off to this guy.
I did not. I never met the man before I was recommended to his office.
Not a word.
Dr. Wyckoff has a very fine reputation. All the best people go to him. It wouldn't make any sense.
Well, it has to make sense. The only lead we've got.
We can't just barge in and accuse him without proof.
Maybe you can't, but I can. He's got nothing on me. Maybe I can scare some proof out of him. Look, Ma. No cavities.
Mr. Willoughby, I'm Dr. Wyckoff.
I have a terrible pain, Doctor.
Well, if you'll just tell me...
The pain is in my neck, Doctor, and you put it there.
I believe you must have the wrong office. I do only dental work here.
You do know a Miss Mizell and a Mr. Stiles?
Why, yes, they were recent patients of mine.
I am a very angry friend of theirs.
Young man, I don't know the meaning of this, but...
You don't?
But if this is some sort of a practical joke, I've had enough of this. I'm going to call the police.
Oh, no, wait a minute, Doctor. Wait a minute. I apologize, but it's no joke. Now, just give me time for one cigarette to explain, will you? And the simple fact is, Doctor, that Mr. Stiles and Miss Mizell have only one thing in common. You.
I don't appreciate the implication, sir. And if your friends don't intend to call the police, I do.
Now, wait a minute. Just a minute, Doctor. Does anybody else use this office besides yourself?
Certainly not. I've been here for 35 years. There's just myself and Miss Barrow.
The nurse.
Yes. She takes my patients' histories and, when necessary, administers anesthesia.
Uh-huh. Gas?
On occasion, yes. Or sodium pentothal or Novocaine, depending on the case.
Sodium pentothal. That's, the truth serum, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose so. It's sometimes used in narcosynthesis.
And, when a person's under the influence of pentothal, they answer truthfully to anything you ask.
Well, yes, usually.
And then not remember anything when they come to.
In most cases.
Is your, nurse always alone when she gives the pentothal?
Are you accusing Miss Barrow?
Yes, Doctor, I think I am.
That's absurd.
Well, maybe it is. But if I go out of here without finding out, you may find yourself with a long list of blackmailed patients.
Well, it's true she's been with me only a short time, but I just can't ask her a thing like that.
Well, of course not. She denied. Look, can you substitute anything harmless for the pentothal?
Yes. Distilled water, I suppose.
Good. Let's do it right now.
But I still don't understand.
I'm an emergency case, Doctor. You have to operate right away. Now, you tell the nurse to give me pentothal, only it'll be plain water. Then you tell her to call you when she's ready. I'll take it from there. Oh, boy, this miserable tooth. I'd give half my inheritance not to be here.
Well, now, that would be a waste of money. Believe me, you won't feel a thing. Now, you just start counting backwards from 100.
100. 99. 98. 97. 95. 94.
Don't stop, Mr. Willoughby. Talk to me. I'm your friend. My friends often talk to me while I care for them.
My friend. Friend.
Yes, I am your friend. Now, something happened to you a long time ago, something you're ashamed of. Tell me about it. You'll feel better if you do.
Yes, a shame. Try to forget.
And you will forget if you tell me about it.
Yes.
Now, you want to tell me, don't you?
Yes. My wife. She was so beautiful. So intelligent. I hated her.
Why did you hate her?
Astrology. Stars warned me she was evil. I had to kill her. No one must know. She laughed at me. I couldn't stand it. I was chasing them. I only wanted one for my own. Why did she have to make something ugly out of it?
What were you chasing, Mr. Willoughby? You must tell me.
A pigeon, and I think I just caught one. Don't run, honey. The police are just a telephone call away.
Hey! That's all right, Pop. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
All right, that's enough.
Are you all right? When I heard her start to question you, I called Officer Johnson.
What's the charge?
Blackmail. Attempted murder. I'll follow you down to headquarters.
It's a lucky thing we arrived when we did. An overdose can be fatal.
She almost killed me. What do you call that stuff?
Nitrous oxide. Some people call it laughing gas.
I wonder why.
Good evening, madam. Alone tonight? Or perhaps a nice, intimate table to share with someone special?
What do I do now? Kiss him on the cheek?
Biff's right, Stu. You're on the right track, but a little less poetry.
I don't believe it's going to work, Billy. I've overtipped a lot of maitre d's in my life, but I've never thought of being one.
Why not? It's probably the only honest job you were born for. What's a maitre d' if not a con man? He always recognizes a lady's perfume, and he compliments her. He never recognizes a married man who's out without his wife, and he always demands a large tip for a table you've already reserved.
Really?
Really? Now, look. We open in a few short days. Every cop in town is going to think we've got an angle, and every hoodlum is going to think this is a made-to-order hangout.
Well, you can't blame him, Willie. You used to have the greatest gambling setup there ever was.
Used to. No more. The only numbers now are on the menu, and they're big enough to make us all a good living.
Man cannot live by bread alone.
How would you know? You might even find that honesty's fun. There's one thing for sure. If I can't get 100% out of both of you, we're not going to put this place across.
All right, Willie, but if you see me talking to a sucker, please step between us. As a very wise man once said, me, the only thing I cannot resist is temptation.
That was Oscar Wilde, you thief.
Ain't that the screwiest mating call you ever saw?
Excuse me, fellas. I got to see a girl about a shoe. Pardon me, but I'm looking for a...
It fits, it fits. Come on, get in before this thing turns into a pumpkin.